sound of our town, the Treasure Coast choice. I am, you are, we are Vero's voice.
And welcome back to the Vero's Voice podcast. My name is Doolin. Thanks for hanging out with me today. And this is kind of a special show today because I'm sitting here with Sara Gordon. Sara Gordon was here not too long ago for Young Frankenstein. And I'm also sitting across from Sabrina Cabaret, who is, they're both in Cabaret.
As are you.
I was going to get there, man. Jeez. I was building to that.
I ruined the whole show already.
The twist is ruined. It's ruined. Yep. As am I. Yes. So we are all, and this is it's a little bit different because this time I'm interviewing on the side of it, of which something I am a part of, which is a lot of fun and very cool. So yes, all three of us are cast members in Cabaret. So the show is up on February 27th, so we're just a couple of weeks away, and it's we're getting to crunch time with it, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun for me. So Sara, you play Fraulein Kost.
Fraulein Kost. Sure.
Welcome to Costco. I love you. And then sitting across from me, Sabrina, who plays Sally Bowles, the Toast of Mayfair.
I do.
and this has been it's been so much fun working with you. And then I am actually in the show as well for this one, and I play Cliff Bradshaw in this show. And it's been gosh, man, I didn't think the last time you were on the show and we were talking, and I was like, gosh, I would just love to get back to the theater. I would love to get back to the theater. And you told me, get back to the theater. Come on back. And I'm like, I don't have time for it. But yet here I am a couple months later. And
we twisted
just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. So yeah, but I'm back into it. But yeah, this has been a great experience working with you guys. And then of course, working with Ben again and all the very talented cast that we have out there. I'll let you guys jump into it. Like, for the uninitiated, people who don't know what Cabaret is about, you guys want to hit them with some Cliff Notes? No pun intended.
Go for it.
Man.
1930s, 1931 Berlin, I think is the exact.
Right before the Nazis took power, just when they were just starting to show their ugly faces.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So 1931 Berlin. And the story, there's a couple of different subplots and things, but the story centers around Cliff Bradshaw and Sally Bowles, and also
the Kit Kat Club.
And also the Kit Kat Club, which is where Sally Bowles works. And there's a B plot as well that goes on with Schultz and Schneider, and there's a little bit of a romance there that happens.
There's like an A to Z plot.
Yeah,
there's many. There are many interconnected webs.
Yeah, and it's I mean, it's a big musical. I think it's been around since like 1966. Based on the book Leaving Berlin by Chris Isherwood.
Goodbye to Berlin.
I'm sorry,
Goodbye
to Berlin. I read that.
Come on, Cliff.
I should know that. I don't know. I should know that. I know. I'm messing up everything. I had one job and I screwed it up. But but based on the book Goodbye to Berlin by Chris Isherwood. And it's an interesting story, this musical itself, because it's a lot of dark subtext, but you wouldn't know that on the surface because there's so many like happy, jaunty musical numbers that like happen throughout this show. And then, but meanwhile, there's this kind of darkness rising, and like there's such a flip between Act 1 and Act 2.
Oh yeah.
Everything changes. There's a tonal shift. There's still the happy songs, but also at the same time, there's really dark, evil things that are kind of happening in the background. It just kind of creates this juxtaposition. So the two of you, like main musical performers, I don't do very much singing in the show. Thank God for everybody else.
Fabulous singing.
Oh no, I
Stop.
don't. But thank you.
Just being humble.
What are some of your favorite musical numbers in the show?
Oh,
that's hard.
It is hard
so
to
many
choose.
good
It
ones.
sounds typical. We were just talking about it. I Don't Care Much, song that the MC sings.
Gorgeous.
Act 2. Absolutely stunning.
Mm-hmm.
It's Act 2, right? Am I tweeting?
Yeah, it is Act 2. Yeah.
Well, Act 1 has so much packed into it, and Act 1 I think has all the upbeat.
Oh my gosh,
and they're so fun. And it's Mine Hair, Don't Tell Mama, and
iconic for the film, for sure.
Which is the film with Liza
that.
Minnelli and Joel Grey, so people will recognize a lot of that.
Yes.
And it's and I think one of my favorites is Married. With
that
Schultz
is such a sweet song.
and Schneider.
Yeah.
It is beautiful, and I think people like. And I sing a little bit in that in German, and it's actually really hard to not tear up at the end when they're singing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because, you sort of know the story and it's just, it's heartbreaking. Like, it is such a heartbreaking, powerful show. In your face and like shoving down your throat.
Don't come expecting a happy ending. Yeah. Because you're not going to get it. But you will be entertained.
But you will be affected, and it's beautiful. Like, and this cast, I can't say enough about this cast. It's phenomenal.
I agree.
There's no weak links.
Like, it's like not normal. Like, it's abnormal.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
Special.
And the dream team, I mean, I have to give a shout. Ben Ehrman is the director. And then Andrew Curry, the choreographer. I can't say enough amazing things about him. He owns Dance Space. And he was in Cats on Broadway.
Right
around the corner.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's where we've held a handful of our rehearsals.
He's phenomenal. And then Karen Wiggins, our musical director. Karen is music. I mean, she can play anything on that piano. She's amazing. And it's just such a dream team that's just put together this cast. And this cast is phenomenal. Yeah. What a fun. I'm in love with this whole cast. I'm in love with them.
Yeah, this is a really, really special process. And I feel like if you're a musical theater fan, you know Cabaret.
Yeah.
And there are so many iterations of it, and there are so many different takes of each different character. And I feel that all of us as people, if you're a musical theater person and you like Cabaret, you have your favorites of like, oh, this actor is my Sally. That's my Cliff. That's my MC. But being a part of it and with such strong people and strong performers and seeing how each and every one of you and one of us in our show portray the story in their own way, it just gives me such a different appreciation for the material itself and really what we're intending to convey and the messages that we're conveying. And I just leave each rehearsal feeling like I understand myself more as as a soul, as an artist, and what I want so badly to be able to process. Like, I feel like we're processing a lot in this show. As
it's heavy.
Do you guys feel the same way when you leave rehearsal that you're like, wow, I felt
and it's
more human,
and we've talked about our characters in this, and I know we've talked about our characters in this, and I say, like, I see a lot of me in this character, just as I'm sure you see a lot of you in your character you're playing as well, and and it forces you to kind of process some things, because especially after you've had a couple of life experiences, and you're like, oh my gosh, I relate to these things. I relate to what this character is going through.
I don't think that I'm much of mine, because I'm a bit of a villain.
I mean, kind of, but not really. But I mean,
she's a woman of her circumstance.
Yeah, well, now and it's funny that you say that, because and I think that's one of the things that one of the points that this show drives home, and it's like villains aren't born, they're created, and and in this case, your character might be what is considered a villain, but it's also just because it's because
she trying to survive, or does she really believe those things? Yeah. Because she might just, and I feel like that's just throughout history, some people just go along with maybe what they would call the bad guy because they're afraid and they just want to live. Well, and because it's very hard to be brave and stand up for what is right, because a lot of times you don't win.
Yeah. And I was actually talking to Jeff about this the other day, and for those of you who don't know, Jeff plays the role of Ernst Ludwig, and spoiler alert, he's
also a villain.
He is like, if the show has a villain, it's probably him. He's revealed to be a Nazi, a Nazi politician in the show. And he and I were talking about it, and I was like, what's just so disappointing is, you get to a certain point, you go in and you meet this guy, and he's just so friendly and jovial and accommodating, and he's fun, and he likes everybody. And it's not even until the end of Act 1 where his villainy kind of starts to show through a little bit. But you see him, and you're just like, he was such a nice guy. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how villainy works in the real world, though. Yeah. It's like they don't come out mustache twirling, tying somebody to a train track or whatever. He's such a nice guy, and it's almost like you're almost a little bit sad when he's revealed to be a Nazi in the show. And whereas movies will kind of paint things very black and white, I feel like the show has a lot of shades of gray to it. Like just like you said with Fraulein Kost.
Yeah.
Is she a villain? Does she believe these things, or is she just changing?
Live.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This show is it's not lighthearted. Mm-hmm. It's not. It's very heavy, but it's so beautiful.
I mean, it's
so
lighthearted
poignant.
on the surface,
right?
But that's the twist, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What you were mentioning with Ernst just really struck me right now because, on the topic of our villains, they're not born, they're made, or they're molded.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And
by society, I guess. Right. Yeah.
And I feel that that's very poignant, and we'd be very ignorant and remiss to ignore that that's just humanity throughout history, time after time after time after time. Mm-hmm. And when they say, all of these documentaries about serial killers or like all these quote unquote harmful people in history. Oh, they're every single person. It's almost like it's ironic how often they interview their neighbors or school teachers from when they were younger or whatever.
Nice
he was such a nice guy.
Never bothered anybody.
He took out my trash.
Thought, I never thought it'd be him. He just didn't strike me as that kind of person. And that's what it is with your friends or with people in life when you realize you may differ in values or different morals or ethics.
Yeah.
And we're living through that. And we always do as human beings throughout time, over and over again, of having to reckon with the people that you thought you knew.
Yeah.
And what does it mean when you are confronted with, and this is actually perfect, like between Cliff and Sally, like, oh, this person doesn't see, maybe. This person is choosing to ignore.
But you
don't really know, because you can never be in another person's, you don't know.
Yeah, you never, so you can't walk in somebody else's shoes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what you just mentioned earlier as well of Fraulein Kost. I always call her Kost.
Listen, you could just call me Fritzy.
Yeah, right.
Fritzy.
Just
call me Fritzy.
That's easier. That's easier, Fritzy. Is she bad? No, I think all of the responsibility that we have to these characters is to humanize them and to be exactly what they are. And to me, I spoke to you about it before, Doolin, in regards to Sally and the choices that she does end up making at the very end of the musical, and her, what leads her to sing Cabaret, the title number of the show. No big deal. No big deal at all. But, how people choose for survival reasons or what have you, the devil they know versus the devil they don't know.
Right.
And that is, I feel, exactly what you were just mentioning right now about Fraulein Kost and just people.
Yeah.
Just people.
Yeah.
Survival.
Yeah.
What is
survival?
this?
Yes, because when the entire social landscape changes and you don't necessarily agree with this, what do? You know what I mean? Like, well, I can speak out against this. There's going to be consequences for that, right? Yeah.
And this show, I feel like everybody in this show just portrays that so beautifully. Even because I don't think there's any minor characters in the show.
No,
like the girls in the Kit Kat Club. First of all, I'm in love with them. They're just, they're just amazing. Every single one of them. And each one of them brings like a character to their, and maybe the only thing they do is dance, but they have a character and they have this personality and they have this love that they bring to the show. I mean, if you don't go see it, you're silly. Like, it's just like the passion that people have put into this, that everyone has put into this, from the actors to the set designers to just
the set is beautiful.
The set is amazing. I mean, have we all walked into a 2x4? Yeah,
backstage.
For sure.
But that's not. If you're listening to this, that's not your problem. No, that's our problem.
It's like an adult jungle gym.
It really is.
Kinda.
The first time we were up there, and I went backstage, and I went in that back alley part to go, and Ben saying, "Sarah, come back, we're doing that again," and I got lost. Like I couldn't find my way back onto the stage because it was like a maze.
This is a dated reference, and I'm sure Sabrina's not going to get this, but you remember the what was it? The Creative
ageist.
Playground.
Yes, I remember. It is.
It's like the Creative Playground.
It is like Creative Playground. I mean, just the people involved with this. Everyone has put their heart and soul into it, no matter what. Even like the marketing. Megan Taylor Callahan does our marketing,
yes.
And there's still going to be more to come. But even just the 2 or 3 things she's put out so far, gorgeous.
Oh, absolutely, amazing pictures.
Everyone has just put in 1,000,000%.
And it's just funny. And I was talking to Sara about this earlier. Is just the Theatre Guild as a local community theater, how far it has come in the last 10 years since I last did a show there.
In the last 30 years. Yeah, I mean it's just grown leaps and bounds.
They have local youth programs there now and local classes for pretty much anything you can think of. Like none of that was there 10 years ago when I did my last show with you. And it just makes me so happy to see how far the Vero Beach Theatre Guild has grown, and like just to know that it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
It's a building block because there's never been years where like, oh, it was bad that year. It's never been bad. Everything has been a building block that is built to what we have now. Mm-hmm. You know, every community theater has gone through hard times, and not just COVID. I mean, just community theater in general, because we work on like donations. We're not for profit. Yeah. We're not equity. Like actors don't get paid. There's very few paid positions there. It's just people who kind of run the day-to-day operations. Mm-hmm. So to see where it's come from so far, like way back in the day in the 1950s, we were with Riverside, and then we broke away, and then we moved over to where we are now, the 2020 San Juan Avenue, and that used to be a church, and then we converted it into a theater, and then just the renovations.
Thank the Lord.
Yes. The renovations that have gone through to be what it is today, it just keeps growing, and I just hope that we keep on this trend, because I think there's just such big things in store, and I hope in 30 years that, you know, I'm still alive, and then I can like look back and be like, oh my God, look at how far we've come from then, because it's such a fun place to be. Like my best friendships, like Doolin, you and I met at the theater.
We met at the Theatre Guild, 2013, Pirates of Penzance.
Kelly Clemency and Ben Ehrman and I met 30 years ago.
Do we want to talk about Ben for a minute? Let's talk about Ben. Let's talk about Ben. Let's talk about Ben for a minute.
Okay, Ben. So my first show with Ben was Guys and Dolls, and he played this snotty little waiter, this little bit part, and that jerk stole the show. I was Sergeant Sarah Brown, but everyone was like, oh, the waiter was so great. Oh, no, Ben was so great. But Ben, so that's, I mean, and Ben has been a part of that theater forever. He's just done, his shows are phenomenal. Mm-hmm. They're beautiful.
Yeah, and my first experience working with Ben was 2013, Into the Woods, where he was Rapunzel's prince. And then the next year, I worked with him on Sweet Charity, where he directed that show. And Ben Ehrman as a director is just like, you know, he's done a lot of things. Like he's very comfortable on the stage. But this man shines as a director, and he knows how to direct a cast. He knows how to hit those moments, and it's like, and when he's directing the show, you can see him like, stop, everybody, stop what you're doing right now, and you can see him, and you can almost hear like the orchestra in his head as he's like.
He pulls the best performance out of you that you could ever give. Like He's phenomenal.
That's so important.
He's so good.
So important.
The most talented thing about him is his casting. He knows how to cast a show, man.
He does.
I mean, he just picks the perfect. Girl, there's no other Sally. Like, it's just you. You open your mouth and you sing maybe this time, and I'm like backstage, like, it's okay. I'm gonna go on stage, but it's okay. I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be fine. Cabaret.
I'm not ugly girl crying right now.
No, it's like you're just phenomenal. I feel like in like 10, 15 years, we're going to read about you. And don't forget us little people back here. Like you just shine. And I mean that sincerely. You're just phenomenal. I almost said the F word phenomenal because you're just that good.
Thank you so much. You just gave me chills all over my whole body saying that and tears in my eyes.
Well, you're so sweet and you have such a positive energy too. And you're so humble. You're not,
Thank you.
And that's everybody in this cast is. There's no egos. Everybody just wants to do a good show.
There's really not.
Everybody
I mean, it's usually you get into a community theater production, there's at least one ego.
There's one diva.
Yeah. And there's really, I mean, like we joke and we poke fun at each other and stuff backstage, but there's really no egos back there. Like everybody's very humble. And I don't know, it's mostly a new cast for me. working with, having been away for 10 years, I know you and I know Ben, and that's about it for this cast, I think. So, I was kind of like, I was the new guy coming back in, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the old guy, but I'm the new guy at the same time.
Can you touch on that a little bit?
Like
when both of you were talking about how far the Guild has come, honestly, sitting here, just being a newcomer to the Guild and to Florida in general. This is my first show in 2 years, my first show since I moved to Florida. So it's a huge deal to me. But hearing the way that you both speak about the progression of the Guild itself, like, it's very powerful. There's a reason why both of you are still around, why both of you are still heavily involved, and why you decided to come back at the time that you did. I mean, I don't think that's just chance. I don't think that's luck. I think that's divine intervention. I think that's, the universe's timing, God's timing, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. I think that it's divinely orchestrated, if you will. But can you touch on how it feels to be a part of something or love something in the community so long? Like what do you think contributes to the success of the Guild?
And the progression
honestly,
of it.
Throughout this time.
Yeah, so absolutely. And I was talking to somebody that worked there the other day, and this guy, basically, he had he worked there part time, and I was talking to him, and he was like, and I was like, so you're doing this, and I just want to say thank you for being here. You guys are working and keeping the doors open for us. Like, we can't do this if not for you guys. And he's like, well, I wouldn't be here if not for you guys. I said, first of all, just want you to know, everybody here who is doing this is just doing it for the love of being on stage. And it's one of those things where it's like, if you haven't been on stage and you haven't fallen in love with it, you'll never quite understand what it was, or exactly what it is. And I used to always say, like, when I was in high school and college and doing, high school theater and college theater, and I would, my parents would say to me, like, you never really got in any trouble, and I just said, well, theater was my drug. Like, that was was the one thing. Like, I didn't need to go out and do drugs. Like, theater was my drug.
It's the drug and the remedy.
Yeah, exactly.
It really
and
is.
It's and I think it's people who understand that and people who share that love of theater that keep the doors open, because, like, at the end of the day, we all sacrifice. Like, we sacrifice time, we sacrifice money. We sacrifice time with family and things like that. And it's just because, one, actually it's two things. One, it's the connections you make, like, there at rehearsal and backstage. Somebody yelled out a funny anecdote the other night backstage, which I will not repeat here.
Tom.
Tom.
Oh my gosh, I was right in front of him. He looked me dead in the eyes when he said it, and I was like,
for about 15 seconds afterwards, everybody was united because he yelled it so loud that it set everybody off. And so there's that, but then it's also like, you have this shared thing where everybody gets together and they come together, and you are all storytellers for about 2.5 hours at a time, and everybody has their role to play, and it's a big dance, both literally and figuratively. Like, it's a big dance on stage, and that is a shared experience. Yeah. And not only are you like, and it's not like, being in a film where you get behind there and you say your lines and everything, and people share that with you. But when you're on stage, you are sharing that moment not only with your fellow actors on stage, but you're sharing it with everybody in the community that came out to watch it, and they are now invested in the story you're telling. So when you ask me, what does it take to keep those doors open? It's a shared love of community, and I feel like that's what the heart of community theater is.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah,
my best friends were met. The friends that I've for 30 years now, like Kelly and we met when she was 6 and I was 16. We were in Secret Garden, and to this day, she's my best friend. Doolin and I met 13
years ago,
whenever Pirates was, and we've been just close friends ever since. Ben, community theater is so much more than it's more than just putting on a show, because putting on the show is phenomenal. It's
great.
Such a fun, not just on stage, but backstage.
Yes.
There's so much to do. Theater is so much more than just actors. Mm-hmm. It's the tech. It's the ushers.
There's so many moving
lighting,
pieces that you don't see.
there's so much, and all of it is a community. And it just being able to do it all together. I mean, it's my therapy. It's my happy place. If I didn't have it, I don't know where I'd be right now. Like, honestly.
I mean, and I've told you guys this before. Like, I started doing podcasting, because of my lack of time doing theater. I couldn't do theater anymore. I didn't have time. I still don't have time, but I'm making an exception for this one. But it's like, okay, I can't get up on stage. I'm going to talk on a microphone for a little bit, because it's like you said, it's therapy for you and for me and for a lot of people. And the experience has just been, it's been so great. And I'm probably going to cry when it's over.
Oh, at the end of every show.
Been pre-morning.
I'm already I'm going to have such a hard time. For me, and I am someone who, admittedly, I would have loved to have done this as a profession. This is what I would have loved to have been this when I grew up. But I couldn't do that, so I just settled for it as like a pastime.
Yeah.
I don't consider this settling, though, because this really satisfies my soul. And I hope that people who are listening and like people who are just like, maybe they're on the fence, like, I kind of want to get involved, but like, I don't. It's such a great community. Yeah. It's such, like, do you have issues? Yeah, because every community has issues. It's, you know, like I said, we're not all going to leave happy unless we're a ketamine infusion center.
And is everybody going to get along backstage all the time? No!
Probably not.
Because you have all of these very strong personalities. People, but strangely enough, hasn't happened during this show. Everybody loves each other, which is amazing. This has been this experience has been amazing. And actually, I have to take a minute. I have to give a shout out to our amazing understudies. So an understudy, if you don't know, an understudy is somebody who will come in if like somebody is sick, can't make it, whatever. Understudy is understudies and swings are the hardest parts. Because you don't get your own rehearsal time. You just sort of have to follow along and pick it up. My understudy is Angel Young, who is phenomenal. We just like share a brain at this point. If I don't know a line, I'm like, what's the line? She knows it. She's amazing. And I have to I'll let you talk about Katie, but I have to give a shout out to Michael Dilks, who is understudying William Silva, and William is an amazing MC, and William and his wife just welcomed a new little baby into the world, which is amazing. To both of them.
But Michael he's not been able to go to every rehearsal.
Quick funny note, we have 2 cast members in this show, Will being one and Jeff being the other one, that just did a production of this show like a couple of months ago.
Amanda, who's one of our Kit Kat
girls. And Amanda as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she just did Cabaret down. They all just did Cabaret down.
All 3 of them. I didn't know we had a third.
At the barn,
down in Stewart. Okay.
But Michael came in and did a lot of rehearsals because William was, home with his new baby, and Michael I think he just turned 23 today. Happy birthday, Michael!
Happy birthday, Michael!
Sweetheart.
Threw himself into it, and he's been phenomenal. And I'm really excited to see where he will be in 5 years, and 10 years, and 15 years. Because I think if this is something he wants to pursue, he's got an amazing future. Like this is the first time I've worked with him. I was so impressed. I mean, just think
level
he's
of commitment, dedication, integrity.
Angel too. Like Angel's always, she just knows everything. Whatever I'm doing, she's like, I already have this down. I'm like,
she's always on, always on, and paying attention.
On. And she's hilarious and sweet, and I love sharing a brain with her. I'll let you talk about Katie.
I have to discuss Miss Katie DeRosa. Miss Katie DeRosa and I met for auditions for the last 5 years at Vero Beach Theatre Guild. Hey. And we, if anybody knows this show,
I honestly thought I thought the 2 of you had been friends for years.
That's what we all thought. Yeah. We all thought that.
Shout out, Katie. Amelia thought that too. People were like, "Oh, you guys best friends?" Oh, I mean, yeah. But we just met.
Which is awesome.
Which is like also a testament to like theater friendships.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
But so we met at auditions for the last 5 years. I was so impressed with her. And I found out about the auditions the night before on Facebook. I was scrolling, I saw Vero Beach Theatre Guild last 5 years. I said, last 5 years, I need to be there. I just want to sing the score. Like, it's incredible
What
score.
What a beautiful show.
Again, only 2 characters, Kathy and Jamie. And she ended up playing Kathy. Mm-hmm. I was so happy for her. I was like, it better be Katie. Like, she was phenomenal, on point. She's a professional.
You both were. He could have casted that show 5 different ways, just so you know. He had a very hard time casting
I believe it. I believe it. But 2 different wheelhouses, you know what I mean? But I was just so thrilled. Also, I just love how they went about the auditions and callback process, or like second night of auditions process, being able to do it in front of each other and give that support. Like the most recent shows I've done, I've been in the regional world professionally, but and I'm going to touch on the understudy thing in a minute as well, again, because I've been an understudy professionally, and it's not easy. It's hard, and there's not a lot of recognition.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of thank you. I've actually been an understudy more times than I've not been an understudy in the shows that I've been in my life. I'm not even kidding. That's just how it's been. But Katie is so fierce, so talented. She worked on cruise ship for a couple of years. She's a very, very strong person.
Yeah.
And very professional, very on top of her things. And I have to shout her out, because to me, it's not just, oh, she's my understudy. It's we love this thing together. We're a part of it together. And one of our mutual friends that played Jamie in the last 5 years asked us, do you guys feel weird being up for the same roles every time? And we're like, first of all, it's only happened twice. Let's not. But second of all, literally, there is not a combative or like bone in my body in that way when it comes to really anybody, but especially her, because you want to do this thing as a profession. We've both done it professionally. It's celebration. It's celebratory. You see people going after their dreams, and you see people putting that work in. You see people putting their blood, sweat, tears, the sacrifices that you guys were discussing that you do have to be able to lock in for and accept that this is something that is going to hurt when you're rejected. You have to deal with a lot of rejection. You have to deal with a lot of thankless moments, and moments where you're not, the shiny new toy in the spotlight that's like, like, believe it or not, guys, I don't have that much experience being the lead. I know it's crazy. I know it's crazy. It's so crazy to hear that. But it's just I love Katie. Understudies are incredible, but they're not even just that. They're just an extension of this piece of art, and also talking to them about things also helps us see our own roles in a different way, and how they would, because the way that Katie would do Sally is not at all how I could do Sally, because we're 2 different people, but also we take into account our backgrounds, what we would really be experiencing at that time.
Because you always put a part of yourself into your character.
Yes, exactly. And as I said, I mean, you can't help but to do that. You know what I mean? Because you are portraying this character, and you start seeing pieces of like, oh, that's something I would do, or like, oh, this is something that happened in my past. Like, I totally understand why he or she would have made this decision. So, yeah, I mean, you can't help but to insert yourself into the role that you're playing, because you're playing it,
right?
So
it's how you humanize.
Yeah, exactly. It's how you understand as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is why every performance is probably a little bit different. As you said, like, Katie's Sally would be very different from Sabrina's Sally.
Yeah.
Because, different life experiences, inserting different experiences into that role, which is why, you could watch a million productions of Cabaret with a million different casts, and you would never see it the same way
twice.
That's
what I love about our show in Cabaret, too, because, we have so many different source materials or, things that took inspiration from it, like I Am a Camera, and then Cabaret, from Goodbye to Berlin by Christopher Isherwood, all of these different touchstones for the story itself and the time period. But there are not too many defined things about each of our characters, especially in my head for Sally and all of it's like when she says to Cliff in the show, you mustn't ever ask me questions. Any questions. If I want to tell you anything, I will. And I mean, Sabrina gets that, but it's the fun of it too, because it's not really just about what's so hard and like, I'm rambling, but
no, you're not at all.
We infer things, and then we also build with. It's a collective vision, like just what you guys are saying. It's a collective image, collective vision with the director and ourselves, and you said something earlier that I was thinking about this morning when I was crying of gratitude by the creek, like all woo-woo people do. But it gives us permission to feel things or to express parts of ourselves, maybe the more shadowy aspects of ourselves. I definitely feel that very heavily with Sally, but more hidden parts of the human psyche and condition that maybe we wouldn't allow ourselves to be seen as. Like, I would not want to go out there in the world and be seen as much of a train wreck as Sally is or could be, although I may not be able to help that sometimes. I am me. But it's like the rawness and the vulnerability and the inability to hide, because although, we get to pretend to be some quote-unquote somebody else, what we're really doing is it's just a channel and it's a part. It's like almost like a manifested image of one small slice of who we are in our souls, or what we don't like about ourselves, maybe. What we don't like about people is selfishness or greed or harshness or like
cowardice.
Cowardice.
For me, Kost is like cowardice. like you are going to like be a part of this regime that's so awful. I mean, I used to study like the Holocaust and like in college, and it's just one of the most horrific things ever. So this is actually like a hard character to play, honestly, especially
absolutely.
when she gets, it's just that at the end of Act 1, that's like when, that part of her comes out. It's hard because I like to think that like that's not me at all.
Right.
But I do like playing her because I think it's important. Like I always say, it's important for the world to never forget. Never, ever forget these things. And I think throughout history, we just see it's always cyclical. And we forget, but I'm going to do everything. You're going to do everything. You're going to do everything to make sure that the world doesn't forget. And that's the beauty of art.
Yeah.
Art, theater, any kind of art. Just that's art is so important because it just helps us to remember.
Yeah, it helps us to remember. It helps us to project. It helps us to just create and project like who we are and who we want to be and who we want to. How do we want to see ourselves in the world?
Right.
And that's been one of the greatest things about returning to the stage, like after 10 years and coming back here to this show with you guys and this entire cast, and it's been such a great ride, and it's not done yet. We got a couple more miles left to go.
Thank goodness, because I am not ready to say goodbye to this.
I'm not even close. I feel like I'm
ready.
just getting started. I feel like it's just starting to click for me. And
I will not
too, like, wow.
be ready to say goodbye. I will be a mess. I'll be a hot mess.
Yeah.
Same.
Well, we got a couple more weeks left. Show opens on February 27th, runs through March 15th. So you got 3 weeks. From what I heard, the shows were almost halfway sold out.
Oh, but I do want to mention, especially, there's tables. There's 2 tables right up front, right off of the stage. Like you're right up against the stage. They have 2 seats each. Each seat costs $100. Now, listen, I know the collective gasps just happened. But it's a VIP experience. Like you're in the show. You're going to be in the Kit Kat Club. You will be interacted with. You don't have to get up and do anything. You don't have to play with the band. But totally worth it. And I know a couple of those seats have been bought, but they're absolutely worth it. So please look into that because it'll be a lot of fun for you.
One of the guys on my staff bought a seat, believe it or not.
That's my daughter did. My parents did. That's amazing. I said, guys, I don't know for this show that you want to be that close to me.
Oh, I hope there, because I'm up on stage so I'm going to be all up on that table.
Big shout out to my guy Shane, who's been covering all of my weekly events.
Shane!
He's been covering all of my weekly events, my trivias and my bingo nights and my karaoke so that I could be there. He actually bought a VIP seat.
Oh, awesome. We'll get Shane. Listen, it's going to be definitely, it's going to be $100 night. It's going to be $1,000 night.
There are a lot more of those taken than I thought.
Yeah.
Which, period, as they should be. Yeah. It's like a, like burlesque. Yeah. It's like a little burlesque-y, and we get to interact and have fun.
Do not wait. Do not sit on these.
Don't sit on it. It's gonna.
This will sell out.
It's gonna sell out. Absolutely. But that's Cabaret, and just such an amazing, wonderful show. You'll be entertained. You will laugh. you will cry, and I know that sounds very cliche, but you will.
We will too. It's fine.
And
we'll be uncomfortable.
Yeah, we'll be uncomfortable.
However,
yeah, and it will be uncomfortable.
It's what you need. Yeah. It's what you need. You'll get what you need.
You will go.
You may not get what you want. You'll get what you need.
Yeah,
so I'll tell you that much.
Oh my gosh, let's we actually got to get off to rehearsal. So hey guys, for Vero's Voice Podcast, my name is Doolin. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and as always, I'll see you on the beach. See you guys next time.